It looks like we've got a tide on our hands.
Gosh, that
A
Vermintide.
Vermintide 2, a New York sewer simulator, a game that shows you the average life of someone that works in pest control and how they fight for their life every single day on the job. You have 5 exterminators to choose from with 4.
In terms of money, we have no money.
Never mind, I can't afford it. You have 5 exterminators to choose from with 3 different professions, each one with their own special abilities. The most normal and sane man among the exterminators is Marcus Kruger. Yeah, he might scream and yell, "Come on, kill for old Kruger!" so loud to the point it makes the little Mexican men you're fighting fall over. Vital! But it does give you and your allies some temporary health so that you can keep swinging with no problems at all. And then there's the second class, which specializes in range and allows you to dip out like any black father when they find out they have a child on the way and come back only when it's safe. And it gives you infinite ammo for as long as you're invisible. And the third class is what I aspire to be and that I paladin max the most, since I feel like an overexcited black woman on Black Friday when there's a TV that's 80% off and I'm charging through these child soldiers. I love Marcus. I feel like you can have a disgusting beer with this guy around the fire and it will still be a good time. And plus, everybody else loves him. Pardon, the few things me and this dwarf have in common are fantastic beards and our height, which I'm actually okay with, since just like Marcus, a beard makes a man look a lot better. But his first class is just like Marcus's second class, to just disappear like any dad when their kid comes out as trans due to the horrible influence of the internet and what's in the tap water.
I like them putting chemicals in the water that turn the friggin' frogs gay. Serious crap.
But anyway, he also has the passive ability to drop ammo when he kills a special enemy like a care package. Now the second class makes you feel like an immovable chunk of metal, since his main ability is to just yell out insults to every man-sized enemy so that they can target him, like he's a Christian at a gay pride festival. And his passive ability is to just shrug off 1 instance of damage every 20 seconds. He gives me the primal feeling of a man being in the front line protecting his allies. And then there's this third class, and my most favorite one. He's something I would describe as a feral animal, the inspiration for piñatas, the type of person to think AIDS wouldn't spread from a monkey. His main ability is just to huff paint and crash out as he jumps in the middle of the enemies, which gives him a speed boost to swing his beef sticks for arms. And his passive ability is to just gain more damage for 2 seconds when he hits an enemy. Carillion. I probably hate women, and I'm definitely racist, but Carillion makes me hate elves a little less. And 2 of my best friends are elves, and it pisses me off, but just the attitude and the way she talks makes me not want to hate her and her entire race. But her class though, I'm sure by now you can see I hate any class that's dedicated to range. And yeah, it's cool having an arrow that can go right for the enemy's weak spots like it's a trained pit bull seeing a child alone. And plus she's got some healing too, which is at least something. And then there's her second class, which was the only class I actually enjoyed, since even if I felt like a slippery little eel from the high dodge chance it gives me and also gives me a dash that can get me out of any situation, it still allows me to be in front of the enemy and feel useful, unlike a third class that I played once and just never again, since going invisible just to get behind an enemy just to kill them is like the equivalent to me covering myself in oil, slipping between a bunch of men just to get behind them, which makes me want to be racist toward her again. Victor Saltspire, the only ranged class and ranged weapons I feel like is done right, mainly cause being able to just spam those guns like I'm doing a drive-by is an amazing feeling. And with his first class, it gives you and everyone around you 25% more crit for 6 seconds, which makes you just want to unload on his child soldiers even more. And then there's his second class, which focuses mainly on range, and I could not be more happy about it. Shooting a shot that does massive damage and goes through enemies with the passive ability of getting a guaranteed crit every 10 seconds.
Lad, are you dumb? Are you getting rude to man? That's what you get, fam. Push you.
Makes me want to happily put a gun to their head and pull the trigger so they can be more open-minded to Sigmar's love. And his third class is also the perfect type of melee class because the main ability just lets you charge in there and you gain more attack speed. with the passive ability of gaining more damage with the more health you lose, which speaks perfectly to the masochistic side of me. And this white man has the swag of a black teen, and I don't know what to do about it. And even if he has no beard and his face looks like kneaded dough, I still love him. Sienna. I don't know what's wrong with me, and maybe I do hate women because I just don't like playing her as well. And don't get me wrong, she is damn cool and I love her personality that she has. And the way she calls me darling is just the best. But it's another case of me just not liking her abilities and her whole kit that she has going on. And her and the elf are the ones that I don't play at all. But her first class has the passive ability to take away the overcharge caused by her spells if you don't cast anything for 6 seconds, and her main ability is to just zoom forward while leaving a trail of fire behind. Her second class passive is she gains more crit chance based on the overcharge, and her main ability is once again like a trained pit bull seeing a child alone, meaning she sends out a flaming skull that follows enemies. Then there's her third class, which I had a little bit of fun with because her passive allows some of the damage you take to be transferred to the overcharge, and her main ability just makes you turn into a Muslim. But other than that, she is cool, and she has the ability to just cook a steak on her hand anywhere and everywhere. And also, if you let that meter at the bottom get to the end, you'll just fucking explode. Now it's time for some enemies. Skaven, a combination of child soldiers and men too small to fit the dating pool, and they can be easily killed with a simple slap. But if you hear a bell, you know it's lunchtime and you're the lunch. Then there's the one with the shields, and all you have to do is really give them a push and then bonk them on the head. And then there's their final form. They get shields and armor. Now I've been told that you have to parry them to make it easier to kill them, so I just brute force it like I'm trying to piss out a kidney stone until I get a clear shot at their head. Then there's the Minotaur looking guys, and the only real one you have to worry about are the huge ones that try to ram into you like they're a brain damaged goat, and the ones that place down the banner to make the rest go crazy like white women at a Taylor Swift concert. As well as there's the ones that look like they never go outside and that can be easily killed. And none of them are really a bother unless you're looking at the specials like the Berserkers or the Plague Monks, which run at you and swing wildly even if you smack them, like they're a wild boar wanting to take you out with them. And speaking of specials, there's a Rattling Gun, which I can only describe as stress-inducing.
The rat cats! No shit! Now give me all of your f***ing money!
And then we have the World War I German soldier, also known as a warp fire thrower. And then we have another German known as a Globadier, making Hitler proud. And then there's the one that hides in the shadows, and like the pixel lamp, he comes out and gets right on top of you and starts bouncing his fists and blades on your face. And one of my favorites, one of the most stress-inducing ones, is the Hooker Rat. And he's basically every white man in the 1860s. And he thinks you're black. There's also two fat ones, like the one that sucks you off and the other one that makes fog clouds. There's also a Chaos Warrior with a fat health bar and big damage. And then there's the real monsters, Bile Trolls. Looks like one of those women that said I used to wipe your ass when you were younger, as well as it can also heal if you don't constantly damage it. And at half health, it has the possibility to regain health if you don't smack it enough. Minotaur, big bull guy that charges at you like a drunk guy in a bar trying to fight. Rat Ogre, a Sam Sulek wannabe. Spawn of Chaos, every aborted fetus ever that formed into a hive mind. Storm Fiend, all I'm gonna say, he just looks really cool. The difficulties, all I can really say is anything above champion is the journey of self-discovery about how much shit you're willing to put up with. Then there's also the maps, and I do have to say, even if my graphic settings are on medium so that I don't blow up my PC, or so that it doesn't turn into a jet engine if I put the settings higher, the maps still look great. And there were some times where I just stood there and just admired the view and wished I was actually there to enjoy it. And then I remembered if I ever were to be put in this game, I would die. Since I have the intellectual powers of Vermin Supreme and the fitness of a Discord mod, I'm an agent of average. I don't excel anywhere. And proof of how dumb I am sometimes, there are situations where the maps slightly change so that it doesn't feel the same, which I do love. But just like when I see a feminine boy, I get confused and lost, and I have to rely on my teammates to show me the way. And all in all, even if someone pressed down on my soft skull when I was a baby, I still find this game extremely fun. And yeah, I might blow my nose with my hand sometimes, but even I can understand the game mechanics. And yes, I might sound like or even look like I crank my hog like I'm trying to pull start a generator, But what can I say? I'm a product of mankind. Don't look at my search history. And the only difference between artist and autist is the accent, and I'm sure you guys know which one I am. But thanks for watching. It took me a damn long time to make this, and I don't know what game I'm gonna play next, but all I know is I'll find out soon. Hopefully I entertained you guys enough, and I want you to know God loves you. And yes, even though I say all this out-of-pocket stuff, I am a Christian.